Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and welcome to this new episode of Sudan in Focus weekly news magazine, which focuses on Sudan news and events, aims to give the Sudan TV audience a broad and first-hand information about what is going on in Sudan. So let's go.
President of the Transitional Sovereignty Council, TSC, and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, received a phone call from the President of the United Arab Emirates, UAE, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Through the phone call, bin Zayed explained their desire to help halt the ongoing war in Sudan. TSC President informed bin Zayed that the people of Sudan accuse the UAE, and there is much evidence proving the UAE's support for the rebels, of its support for those who kill the Sudanese people, destroy their country, and displace them, and the UAE must stop that. The President of the Transitional Sovereignty Council, TSC, and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, met on Wednesday with the delegation of Committee of Intelligence and Security Service of Africa, CISA, headed by its Executive Secretary, Ms. Zainab Ali Kotoko. His Excellency welcomed the delegation's visit to Sudan, praising CISA's role in supporting Sudan, referring to the CISA's important roles in establishing security and stability in Africa. For her part, CISA Executive Secretary said, in a press statement, that the delegation's visit came within the framework of CISA solidarity with Sudan in confronting the challenges it faces.
The CISA delegation was honored today to have been received in audience by His Excellency General Burhan, the President of the Supreme Council of the Republic of Sudan. This visit to Sudan is a visit of solidarity and also a visit to express appreciation for the leadership that General Burhan is bringing to Sudan. In our discussions, we reiterated CISA's position regarding that the sovereignty of Sudan cannot be negotiated, and we also condemned the atrocities being perpetuated by the militia forces, crimes against humanity. We need these crimes to be amplified by the international community. Once again, I wish to express appreciation to His Excellency the President Burhan, for receiving us in audience.
Salah al-Din Adam Tor took oath of office before the President of the Transitional Sovereignty Council, TSC, and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, as TSC member in the presence of Chief Justice and TSC Secretary General. The member of the Transitional Sovereignty Council, Salah al-Din Adam Tor, said in a statement to the press that his appointment to this position came within the framework of implementing the Juba Agreement for Peace in Sudan, stressing that he will work with his TSC colleagues to serve the people of Sudan and take care of its interests. TSC members saluted the officers, non-commissioned officers, and soldiers of the armed forces and armed struggle movements, who are making the ultimate sacrifice to defeat the brutal rebellion led by the terrorist Rapid Support Forces militia against the homeland and its citizens. Member of the Sovereign Council and Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Lieutenant General Shams al-Din Kabashi, inaugurated on Wednesday the police printing press of the Social Insurance Fund for the Police Forces, which contains modern digital machines with specifications, efficiency, and high productivity that serve the requirements of the police and other government institutions. He also inspected the police hospital in Port Sudan, which contains 5 operating rooms, in addition to intermediate and intensive care, and all the required medical specialties, and meets the requirements of police employees and citizens at reasonable prices. The hospital is staffed under the supervision of a large number of doctors and specialists coming from Khartoum. Member of the Transitional Sovereignty Council, TSC, and Assistant Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, General Yasser Abdul Rahman Hassan al-Atta, praised the role of the armed forces, regular forces and mobilized persons in various theaters of operations, as they inflicted massive losses on the ranks of the Al-Dagalo terrorist militia day after another. This came during his visit to the Omdurman military area to congratulate the officers, non-commissioned officers, and soldiers of the on-demand military area on the occasion of their promotion, where he was received by the commander of the on-demand military area, Major General Dafira Omar Abdul Gadir. General Al-Atta added that these promotions are a well-established approach in the progress of the armed forces, contributing significantly to expanding the military awareness and horizons of the promoted person. General Command of the Armed Forces issued a statement Wednesday in which it refuted the allegations circulated by some websites and platforms that the armed forces refused to allow an Iranian aircraft carrier to dock in the Red Sea state. Read as follows: General Command of the Armed Forces. Wednesday, the 17th of July 2024. The Armed Forces would like to clarify that the news circulated by some websites and platforms alleging that the Armed Forces have refused to allow an Iranian aircraft carrier to dock in the Red Sea is not true. Office of the Spokesperson of the Armed Forces.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to give a short statement regarding the performance of some production sectors of the state. First, agriculture and food security situation. According to the Joint Field Agricultural Survey of the 2023-2024 season, conducted by the Ministry of Agriculture, specialized agencies, and the FAO, the country production of staple grains is 4.1 million tons, including 3 million tons of sorghum, 680,000 tons of millet, 377,000 tons of wheat. The country's overall consumption of staple grains is about 5 million tons. Preparation for the summer season 2024-2025 are underway. Agricultural inputs, namely seeds, gasoline, fertilizers, and extra, have been secured. The target of 2024-2025 summer season is to cultivate 37 million fadans, including 20 million fadans to be funded by the Agricultural Bank. In order to obstruct agricultural production, the RSF terrorist militia looted agricultural machinery from farmers in Sinnar, Al-Rahat, and Asuki. The statistics are yet to be determined. There are currently 13 wheat flour mills operating in a number of states, producing 3,850 tons of flour, covering 77% of consumption. Other mills will resume production at the beginning of October 2024. There are 143 edible oil factories in Gadarif, Sinnar, White Nile, North Kordofan, and Al-Managil area. The Red Sea also is included, producing about 172,363 tons, which covers 69% of local consumption. Export of raw peanuts is temporarily stopped to cover the demand of the country. Second, industry and energy. 4 cement factories in the Nile River State are in full operation. While preparations are going on to resume production at the other factories. Sudan's oil reserves are about 6 billion barrels. Out of this, only 20% has been produced domestically. Pumping of South Sudanese oil to Port Sudan is expected to resume soon as maintenance of the oil pipeline is 80% complete. As for electricity in Khartoum State, it is generally stable except for the areas that are subjected to shelling by the military. electricity supply to all Omdurman districts has been resumed. Electricity in the majority of states is witnessing relative stability, except for the states of Darfur, which were separated from the national grid because of the militia activities. As for the hydropower plants in Marawi, Roseiris, Sitet, Sinnar, and Kashm al-Girba, the necessary inputs for power generation were secured, and these plants operated properly. A Shamal cement factory produces solar-generated electricity, which contributes to the operation of a number of cement factories. The Bakr station contributes to the stability of electricity in the country's southern and eastern grid. In addition, work is underway to maintain the Port Sudan station. There are ongoing efforts to utilize renewable energies such as solar, wind, and gas energy in addition to petroleum production. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Firstly, Your Excellencies and political colleague, I would like to introduce myself to you. My name is Dr. Mudawi Fadul. I am a Sudanese national, but come from the United Kingdom. And I am the chairman of the Sudanese Independent National Association, which is the technocrats. I lead the group of Sudanese technocrats in London, but these technocrats, they are from Sudanese people from the different, basically, perspective and the Sudanese people who live in diaspora. For example, I lead technocrat from the United States of USA, Europe, Australia, and I also lead a technocrat from basically Africa and the Sudan itself. So, and also I am a counselor where I hold a Chartered Management Institute, and also I am a lecturer of finance and law at the University of Northampton in the United Kingdom. So I am also member of the National Forces Coordination, which I am absolutely proud to be part of that, being member. So I want to extend my deep thanks to Dr. Muhammad bin Shambas, the chairman of the highest level mechanism on Sudan and higher representative of the African Union to silence the guns, for his basically tireless and sincere effort that he's been put in order to basically hold this dialogue. We basically hardly we appreciate that as Sudanese people for the extremely organization and that we just seen from the yesterday and today and the commitment that you put. We mainly appreciate that. And also, I asked him to deliver a message of thanks and appreciation to the President of the African Union, Mr. Musa Faki. We just ask you to extend that thanks to him. And also, I would also like to thank the members, Mrs. Sebastius, Andrea, and Ambassador Francis Madeira for their valuable contribution to this blessing effort that also they have been put. And let me just be very clear. During the course of this war in Sudan, I visited 5 times because I was invited with the UK Foreign Office. Myself as the chairman of Technocrat, the UK Foreign Office, they invited me for 5 times at their Foreign Office in order to discuss and put forward a plan to resolve this issue. And also, I had the privilege to speak to the prosecutor of the ICC, Mr. Karim Khan. I met him in London, and I also discussed with him the issues and the problem of the criminal war that has been committed by Rapid Support Forces. This could be the genocide elements, the war crime elements, and the crime of humanity. I met with him and I told him, look, Mr. Karim Khan, we have legal case that we need to present to you. And we know that there is a significant amount of the crime that has been committed in this war. And then we know that there is certain countries. I told him, look, this is not an allegation. So we have various media spectrum, like New York Times, BBCs, and all these newspapers talked about the amount of the countries that have been supporting terrorist support forces. This includes the UAE officials and the engagement of the United States Arab Emirates, where they're supporting and supplying these weapons, and they take basically the role on this. What I told him, I will basically prepare a legal case for people that committed this heinous crime, so we need to take them through the justice, because the time where you commit this crime and just go away, this time is being over. So we need to hold account for people who committed this crime. What he said, Dr. Mudawi, you have legal background, bring the case. And then, to be honest with you, we discussed our jurisdiction issues. So, and then I said to him, yes, I'll bring that. So we basically, and also I engaged with the Higher Commission conference in Geneva, and also I participated in European Press Club in Brussels in conference. So we have all this work that we do.
Kassala town in eastern Sudan near Eritrean border. Kassala is built on the island delta of the seasonal Algash River at an elevation of 1,624 feet, 495 meters, and is protected to the east and south by Kassala and Mukram mountains. Kassala has an extensive market, trade, and forest gardens. It's linked by road, railway, and air to Sudan's capital, Khartoum, and to Port Sudan, the country's principal port. Kassala is one of the most important cities in Sudan in eastern country. Kassala is a commercial and cultural center in the region. The city is located about 400 kilometers northeast of Sudanese capital, Khartoum. Among the prominent landmarks in the city of Kassala are the southern and northern waterways, or Al-Sakia, in the gardens of the city, and its dense and lush trees. It's one of the components of economy in the city of Kassala. Kassala is considered one of the important agriculture series, as it contains gardens of mangoes, berries, lemons, fruits, soursop, bananas, and etc. It also has vegetable gardens. Waterways or Al-Sawaki in Kassala are important tourist attraction and an economic pillar for the people of Kassala as well as the other cities. The Gash River is one of the important seasonal rivers as it comes from Eritrean border to Kassala, and all of Kassala's gardens and farms in that period draw from it. Poets and writers wrote songs about the Gash River that were sung by the most important artists in Sudan. 3 names were given to the most important mountains range in Kassala, and that names are the Totil Mountains or Altaka or Awaitla appear as a unique carved icon in which the greatness of the Creator, glory be to him, is revealed. They are considered one of the prominent tourist attractions in Kassala. There are several stories and legends about these mountains. One of it, whoever drinks from Totil water will inevitably return again because of the sweetness, freshness of the water, as there is no source for this water, and the people of the city believe that it's blessed water. On the other side of the mountains, the people call it Awetla, and it's the same mountains at another source. It's called Jannah Jannah, which is one of the most wonderful cosmic image in the Totil Mountains range. One of the most important archaeological and religious landmarks of the city historically, and it has many stories and novels. One of the famous sheikhs of religion and one of the well-known dignitaries in is Sheikh Sidi Al-Hassan Abdullabiya, and he has great love in the heart of his disciples. From other feasts, the triple meeting between Al-Gash and Al-Taka mountains and the Kassala garden is like the state's community and its interconnectedness, societal fusion and love. On the other hand, there are gardens and tourist parks, including Al-Bustan Tourist Park and the Downtown Park. Also among the landmark is the Athletes Cafe, which is the largest gathering of the city's sons and notables, where there are stories, welcome, and love over there. Despite the symbolism of coffee or al-jabana among the community of the people of Eastern Sudan and its very different place in the city of Kassala. The city of Kassala is distinguished by its great societal wealth due to its geographical location, its approach to the culture of neighboring countries, and societal diversity within it, as it brings together all Sudanese community in one place. So, come to visit the country of pristine nature and the country of great opportunities. Come to visit unique tourist destination in Sudan.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dr. Hashim Abdullah Mukhtar, one of the delegates who've been invited to the African Union from the 10th of July to 15th of July. And this invitation was held in the headquarters of African Union in Addis Ababa. And we've been invited by the Commissioner of High Panel of the delegation, Mr. Muhammad Ibrahim bin Shampas. He invited all or most of the civilian political forces to come and have a talk and initiate initiate an inter-Sudanese dialogue. This dialogue extended for about 5 days of discussion between civilian forces, including the coordination of the national forces and other parties of non-governmental organizations, civil organizations, the political parties which we have been invited. We were about 60 members of delegates who gathered there in African Union. We discussed the issues about the current situation in the country, and the discussion was mainly about the root cause of the conflict and the war in Sudan, the immediate effects and the consequences of this war, including the humanitarian situation, including the violations against human rights. And we, at the conclusion, we demanded the African Union to reinstate the membership of Sudan to the African Union, as Sudan is one of the founding fathers of the African Unity Organization, which has changed the name now to African Union. We demanded that the reasons of suspending Sudanese or suspending all the membership of Sudan were unfounded and very unfair to our country. We all agree that these violations, which are being committed by the rapid support forces, RSF and the Janjaweed, against the Sudan in general, against Sudanese infrastructure, against Sudanese human beings, Sudanese people in their cities, in their villages, in their farms, in their meadows. These violations are not acceptable, and we condemn these violations. We condemn the atrocities which have been committed by the Janjaweed, and which is, as the other name is, Rapid Support Forces, RSF. We condemn the crimes against humanity. We condemn the war crimes and the genocide that's being committed against Sudanese people. We effectively gathered, and we decided that the next talk should be in Sudan, possibly in Sudan if it is possible. And we also demanded the rapid support forces to comply with Jeddah agreement. That is a condition for war to stop. Otherwise, there is no other way of we allowing this occupation to continue. The Sudan armed forces have got the duty and the responsibility to regain all the occupied lands before we think of ceasefire. Ceasefire cannot happen prematurely where there's some parts of the Sudan are still under occupation, like in Darfur states, including Jenena, Zalinje, Niala, Kabkabiya, Morne, Kutum, Milit, Tawila. This is as far as Ad-Da'in. This is as far as the Darfur state is concerned. There are some pockets of occupation also in Khartoum, the capital, and in the Jazeera state. And we demanded this human rights violation to stop. We also condemned the countries that have been supporting the rapid support forces, including United Arab Emirates. And United Arab Emirates, by the way, has been condemned by the United Nations. It has been condemned by the press in United Kingdom and the press in the United States of America. This violation wouldn't have happened without the support of the United Arab Emirates, which has violated the human rights and which has destroyed the country with the pretext that they want to bring a democracy, and this is a false pretext. The impediment that stands in front of us is how to face up to the challenges and the responsibilities of the Sudanese people as to support our army until they win the war. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very grateful for your listening, and this video has been recorded for Sudan National TV.
Sudan is full of many popular heritage with a distinctive, beautiful character. The handcrafts that women practice and rely on local natural materials are one of those popular legacies, which constitute a purely Sudanese palette of products of our environment. Palm leaf making is one of those industries in which many components of Sudanese folklore are embodied. This craft has continued despite the change that has occurred in society. Palm leaf making depends on precision and mastery, and it has a distinctive presence in the customs and traditions of the Sudanese household. In the local dialect, front are dried leaves of the dome and palm trees and are used in many handcrafts that begin by placing the fronds in water for a period of time. It's easy to divide them into slices that are sorted to determine the shape. It's an environmentally friendly industry. It does not contain any chemicals. It is a process that requires high skill, patience, and experience to product one of these crafts, which had many uses within the Sudanese household in joys and sorrows, as well as in daily family sessions, as prayer rugs were made from it. The parish is distinguished as one of the components of the Sudanese heritage, as one of the important components in the country.